Very good afternoon, students. In the previous session, we have seen the purification techniques, that is ion exchange method and the reverse osmosis process. Now in this session, I am going to explain steps involved in the purification process or steps involved in the municipal treatment of drinking water. So what are the steps involved? In the treatment of drinking water? So that means before we are getting the water from the municipality, they will do some techniques and they will do some treatments, and that we are going to see now. But before that, in the first class we have seen what are the sources of water, what are the main sources of water. We are having the rain water, lake water, pond water and the sea water. But we can't take all these water directly for the drinking purpose, because this water is having some impurities, that unwanted impurities. Not only the unwanted impurities, it is also having some dust particles, some disease causing microorganisms and some mud particles, floating impurities, dissolved impurities. Yes. So we need to remove all kind of impurities. Along with the impurities, we need to remove the color in the water. So those are the impurities present in the water. So we need to remove all the impurities in this process. Yes. But before that, we are having two types of impurities. One is the suspended impurities and another one is the disease causing microorganisms. So first we need to remove all the suspended impurities in the water. After removing the suspended impurities, we need to remove the disease causing microorganisms. So what is meant by the suspended impurities? Here suspended impurities are nothing but the impurities which are not in the dissolved state. Undissolved impurities are called the suspended impurities. For example, let us take the mud particles, sand particles, some floating impurities and the color. Here these are the undissolved impurities. These undissolved impurities are nothing but the suspended impurities. But some dissolved impurities are present, that is disease causing microorganisms. So in the steps involved in the treatment of drinking water, we are having totally two steps. In the first step, we are going to remove the suspended impurities, and in the second step, we are going to remove the disease causing microorganisms. So the first step is removal of suspended impurities. Removal of suspended impurities. So I told you what is meant by the suspended impurities here, and another one is disease causing microorganisms. Removal of disease causing microorganisms. So let us see the first one, that is the first step, that is removal of suspended impurities. For removal of suspended impurities, we are having the step by step process, because whatever the water we are collecting from the rain and sea and pond and the lake, these are having the floating impurities and the undissolved impurities which are settled down at the bottom of the container, and along with that it is also having the color. So by using removal of suspended impurities, that means in this method we are going to remove the floating impurities and the large density impurities and also color in the step 1. So we are having the step by step process in removal of suspended impurities. And the first step is the screening. The second step is called flocculation, and the third step is the sedimentation, the second step is the sedimentation, third step is flocculation, and the last step is the filtration process. So this is the step 1, step 2, step 3 and step 4 in the first step. Yes. So in the removal of suspended impurities, we are having the step by step process for removing the suspended impurities. So the first step is the screening. The screening is useful to remove only the floating impurities in the water sample. So what are the floating impurities? For example, let us take this is the container, and this container is having some mud particles, that means high density impurities. These are the mud particles and the sand particles which are settled down at the bottom of the container, and also it is having some color, and along with that it is having some floating impurities. Maybe the floating impurities are the leaf particles or the dust particles and maybe the wood particles. Here these are the floating impurities on the water sample. So what is the purpose of screening here? The screening is useful only to remove the floating impurities on the water sample. So in the screening process, the water sample is passing through the screens. These are the screens. Screens are similar to, these are looking like a sieves. So these are the screens. So by passing the water through the screens, on the top of the screens the floating impurities will be settled, and in the container we can collect the water which is free from the floating impurities. So when we are passing the entire water on the screens, all the floating impurities will be there on the top of the screens, and remaining water we will get that is free from the floating impurities. And the second step is a sedimentation. The sedimentation process is, it will take around 1 to 2 days of the time. In sedimentation process, the water is taking in the large container initially, it is taking in the large container and keeping the water for a long time without disturbing. Without disturbing the water, we are keeping the water for a long time. So when we are not disturbing that water, what happens here? All the large density impurities, that means suspended impurities are the mud particles or the sand particles. Here all these are settled down at the bottom of the container. Yes. So when we are not disturbing, the entire thing is settled down at the bottom of the container. So now how we are removing the impurities which are settled down at the bottom of the container? By the filtration process. So you know how to do the filtration. So this is the funnel. In the funnel we are taking the filter paper or some filter materials we are having. So what we are doing here? This we are passing through this, and after that all the mud particles and the sand particles are settled in the paper, and in this container we can collect the water which is free from the suspended impurities. So like that we can remove the suspended impurities in the water. Yes, and that is removal of large density impurities by the sedimentation process. So what is sedimentation? Sedimentation is nothing but taking the water in the large container and keeping the water for a long time without disturbing. Then the large density impurities are settled down at the bottom of the container. These impurities are removing by the filtration process. Now the next one, flocculation. Here the flocculation is especially useful for the medium sized impurities which are not settled down at the bottom of the container. We have removed the floating impurities and high density impurities, but there are some small sized impurities which are not settled down at the bottom of the container, can be removed by the flocculation process. In flocculation process, flocculation is also called as coagulation. In flocculation process, we are adding some reagents to the water sample. So already we have taken the water which is free from floating impurities and the suspended impurities in the container. In this container we are adding some reagents. These reagents are also called as coagulants. It is called the coagulants. By adding the coagulants, these coagulants are reacting with the medium sized impurities in the water sample. So, when the coagulants are reacting with the medium sized impurities in the water sample, it is forming a large density, that means like precipitate. It is forming like a precipitate. This precipitate is looking like a powder. This powder is settled down at the bottom of the container. So, you know how to remove the precipitate from the solution. Yes. So, how can we remove the precipitate? The precipitate is removing by the filtration process. So, like that we can remove the medium density impurities, medium sized impurities by using the coagulation or the flocculation process. So, what is the flocculation here? Adding some external reagents, that means coagulants, to the water sample. These coagulants are reacting with the impurities and forming a precipitate. This precipitate is removing by the filtration process. So, generally here coagulants are alums. Alums are nothing but aluminum containing compounds. So, generally we are using potassium alum and sodium alum as the coagulant to remove the medium density impurities in the water sample. And the last one is the filtration. In the filtration process, we can remove the remaining impurities and also we can remove the color in the filtration process. So, in the filtration process, initially the water, that means the water is which is free from the floating impurities, high density impurities and medium density impurities. After this, what we are doing, the water which we are collecting, that collected water is passing through the filter beds. This is the filter bed. Assume this is the filter bed. This filter bed is having the 3 layers. One layer is having the charcoal. This is the charcoal bed. And here we are having some gravels. And here we are having the sand layer. This is the gravels layer and this is the sand layer. So, you know how the gravels are? Gravels are nothing but the pebbles here. These are the gravels. And here we are having the sand. So, when we are passing the water through the filter bed, the charcoal is removing the color present in the water sample. That is the nature of charcoal. The charcoal is absorbing the color in the given sample. It is absorbing whatever the color is having in the solution. Yes. So, the charcoal is absorbing the color and remaining the gravels and the sand which are filtering the remaining impurities in the water sample. So, that is removal of suspended impurities. So, in removal of suspended impurities, we are having the step by step process for removal of floating impurities, large density impurities, medium density impurities and the remaining impurities. Floating impurities are removing by the screening process. Large density impurities are removing by the sedimentation. Medium density impurities are removing by the flocculation by adding coagulants. And finally, if the color is present in the water sample, that color is removed by the filtration process and also remaining impurities are removed by the filtration process. So, now what is present in the water sample? Now, whatever the water we are collecting, that collected water, that means whatever the water we are getting after these processes, that water is not completely purified water. Of course, it is free from the suspended impurities, but it is having some disease causing microorganisms. That means some small bacteria is present in the water. So, how to remove the bacteria present in the water sample? So, we are having so many techniques to remove the disease causing microorganisms. One is chlorination, boiling method, next ozonation, that is ozonization, and the next one exposed to UV rays, and the last one adding potassium permanganate. So these are the various techniques to remove the disease causing microorganisms. So we know one of the well known technique, that is the boiling. Whatever the method we are using in the domestic purpose, that is the boiling method. Boiling is nothing but when we boil the water, all the disease causing microorganisms are killing under heat, that is the boiling method. And chlorination, ozonization, these two are very important techniques. Chlorination is nothing but adding sufficient amount of chlorine to kill the bacteria in the water sample. So we are adding sufficient amount of chlorine to kill the entire bacteria in the water sample, that is called the chlorination. But what happens by adding chlorine to the water sample? Yes, so when we add chlorine to the water sample, initially we will get hydrochloric acid and the hypochlorous acid. When we are adding chlorine to the water sample, chlorine is reacting with the water and producing hydrochloric acid and hypochlorous acid. This hypochlorous acid is unstable and immediately it is decomposing to hydrochloric acid and the nascent oxygen. Here nascent oxygen is nothing but the oxygen which we have mentioned in the small brackets, that is a nascent oxygen. Atomic oxygen mentioned in the small brackets is the nascent oxygen. The nature of nascent oxygen is immediately it is reacting with the bacteria in the water sample and killing. So immediately it is reacting to kill the bacteria in the water sample. That is the chlorination process. Yes. So in chlorination, nascent oxygen is responsible for killing the bacteria in the water sample. Next, ozonization. Ozonization is nothing but exposing the water to the ozone in the industries. So when we are exposing the water in the industries to the ozone, that ozone also releasing the nascent oxygen. But we know what is the use of nascent oxygen, what is the nature of nascent oxygen. The nascent oxygen immediately reacting with the bacteria and it kills the bacteria in the water sample. Let us see here the ozone. When the ozone is reacting with the water sample, initially it is forming the water molecule, and along with the water molecule it is also releasing the nascent oxygen. This nascent oxygen reacting with the bacteria and killing the bacteria in the water sample. And next, exposed to UV rays. So we know the UV rays are having the high radiation. When we are exposing the water in the large container to the sunlight, due to the UV rays, the entire bacteria is killing in the water sample. That is exposing to UV rays. Adding KMnO4. Here KMnO4 is acting as one of the solvent. This KMnO4 is killing the bacteria in the water sample. But generally we are not using the addition of KMnO4 for the drinking purpose. Especially in the laboratory only we are using the adding KMnO4. But it is not especially used for the drinking purpose. Yes. So these are the steps involved in the treatment of drinking water. Yes. So we are having two steps. One is removal of suspended impurities and removal of disease causing microorganisms. The second step is also called as the sterilization process. The second step is called the sterilization process. In removal of suspended impurities, totally we are having the 4 steps: screening, sedimentation, coagulation and the filtration. But in removal of disease causing microorganisms, we are having the various techniques. One of the best technique is the chlorination and the ozonization process. Here removal of suspended impurities is the step-by-step process. But in removal of disease causing microorganisms, we can choose any one of the steps to kill the bacteria in the water sample. Yes. So this is the steps involved in the treatment of drinking water. Thank you so much, ma'am.